Alright, I already introduced myself to you guys earlier. I'm Sergeant First Class Hess from Light Fighter School. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of instruction and a speech on mindset. Okay? Now, Dr. Cody Sanders, in his book, Warrior Wisdom, said that the fighters of old prepared themselves beyond defeat. Okay? So what does that mean, to prepare yourself beyond defeat, before you seek battle? Okay? Mindset is one of the most important parts of training, right? So what is mindset? We're in the Army, we have to do doctrine, okay? The doctrinal piece on mindset is to win, simply in close combat, right? That's what we are supposed to do. We're not going out there to, it's not about winning hearts and minds. That's not what the doctrine says. It is to win in a contest of close combat, right? Now, we do this in three ways, okay? First thing is awareness. To be able to win on anything, you need to be aware that something is happening, all right? So when you think about scanning, and you're scanning for targets, if you try to record a video of your area that you're looking at, then it's too much for your brain to process, right? So what we do, we call it snapshot. So you're looking for places of cover, because if you're just out patrolling around and somebody's going to shoot at you, they're going to be in cover. So rather than trying to record everything that you're seeing in your space, you're looking for places of cover, right? Now, we also have, from there, we have what's called the OODA loop, okay, and that is Boyd's loop. Colonel John Boyd set this thing up. He didn't design it. He was just a smart guy that came up with it. And it's observe, orient, decide, and act, okay? And we go through this every day. When you guys came into this room, you observed the room, you looked for a chair, you saw a chair, you oriented on a chair, you decided to go to the chair, you acted, you sat down, okay? So we do that same loop all the time. So if you were thinking about having to shoot a target, you would observe the target, orient on it, bring your rifle up to point at the target, decide if it's a bad guy, and act and shoot it. And then you'd watch to see if the target fell down, okay? So this is a basic loop that you can go through in your head, and it gives you basically a checklist and a way to think, okay? And that helps with your awareness. If you're just looking for those certain spots, okay, you're able to process. Because as we think about perceiving something, you can see it or hear it, but to perceive it is to get that into your head of what it is, identify it, and all that sort of stuff. So it helps with perception. Now, once you're aware of something, you have to be prepared to deal with the threat, okay? How do we prepare to deal with the threat? What are we doing today? We're zeroing. That is preparing for dealing with the threat, okay? So as part of that preparedness is skills. So today we worked on the fundamentals of marksmanship, which we put out as stance, position, and grip, sight management, trigger management, and follow-through. Okay, so that's that skill set that you're working on that flows into that mindset, which is going back to winning in combat. Okay? So another part of being prepared is having your equipment ready to go. Because you might have marksmanship fundamentals. You might be hitting targets exactly where, but if the rifle doesn't function, you can't hit a target. Therefore, you can't win. Okay? Another part of that is fitness. You have to get that rifle to range of that target. So if you can't walk there, if you're not physically fit enough to carry your stuff with you, your rifle, okay, that's something that is on you as an individual that you need to fix. Yes, the Army has standards, but you have to be trying to apply that standard for that purpose of winning. If you get into a hand-to-hand fight with somebody and they are physically fit with no skills and you have very good skills, they are probably still going to win, because all they have to do is stop you from applying skills long enough for you to get tired. And then they can do whatever technique that they have, regardless of its level, and they're going to win over you. Okay? So that's part of that preparedness. All right? Now, willingness. We talk about it all the time, but you have to be willing to do what needs to be done. We hear a lot about, and there's psychology backgrounds and books, and we have combat-oriented targets because some people at some point in history were not willing to destroy the enemy. So they gave us combat-oriented targets to help us with being prepared to deal with the enemy. But the question that's been asked for thousands of years is, if not you, who? If you have the rifle and you have the skills and you are prepared and you are not willing to shoot someone or do what needs to be done, when, then who is? So you have to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are you here today? Because somebody told you to be here or you wanted to be here? There's a difference. Even though we're in the Army and you are going to be here anyway, there is a difference on that, and that is part of your mindset. Okay? If you're going to apply these things that I just talked about, what you'll end up with is what's known as a holistic approach to training, and that is mind, body, and soul. You're training your mind, you're training your eyes, you're getting processed, you're getting physically fit, you're developing skill sets, and you're preparing yourself beyond defeat in combat. Now, that leads back to our winning. We do that here. We do that here at Fort Drum, wherever you're doing your training at. We do that preparedness here. We do that mindset, the awareness, we practice that every day. We tie those together, right? If we're not going to win, and there are chances that we are not going to win, if we get involved in a fight with somebody, whether it's a fist fight, a knife fight, a gun fight, a missile fight, if we get into a fight with somebody, there is the chance that you may not win. But in that, you need to ask yourself what you need to do to die well. If, regardless of religion or anything like that, if you do not do what needs to be done at that time to save yourself, your peers, and those people that are around you, and those people that you're responsible for, you are not going to die well. So get that into your head. Understand that. Think about it, adjust to it, and then make it work and win in combat. Thank you for your time.